Hey everyone, Paul Daniels here. This is a bit of an emergency repair job that's just come in. We've got a A1278 and it is still running. Can't shut it off. It is very hot. It's probably around about 45, 50 degrees. Just managing to hold this. So I don't know what we got here, but it's going to be interesting. Maybe it'll be less of a train wreck than what I've been doing the last few days. By the way, thank you everybody. I reached the 10,000, so I guess really thank you to Lewis Rossman for pushing my channel so much. Can't do anything dramatic right now, but we're probably going to get the haircut and maybe a bit of a shave just to celebrate the fact that I finally made it over 10,000, which means I can now take my YouTube diapers off and move up to big boy pants and hopefully keep progressing. Anyway, let's get to it and see what's going on. Desk is a mess at the moment because it's just one of those days where everything is happening all at once. And I've got a fairly large queue of MacBooks to get through, and I'm not really having a lot of wins with it. I've had USB killers, I've had some pretty weird water damage, I've had some dead PCHs of course, and these ones didn't crack the chip unfortunately, so it wasn't obvious. So it's another bit of time wasted. Yeah, it's been fun and games. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Fan's going nuts. So I guess we'll put that out of its misery straight up. Alright, there you go. You can rest now, buddy. You rest. So what could possibly be doing that? Now, I've got blurry vision because I'm in my mid-40s, but I can already see I think I've got corrosion down there. Could be wrong. Could just be a random piece of fluorescent green crap, which might be corrosion. Let's see what board we got here. This is 2936. Now let's go see what we got for damage. I'm pretty sure down here. Yep, there we go. That's pretty common to be on that divider. And if we look at the board view in the schematic, that's this here. PP bus vSense. So we're going to the schematic. This is all this here. So if that's not working right, it's going to cause some interesting issues. Okay, so that's one. Now usually on these, if that one's got corrosion on it, then typically on the other side there's corrosion as well. So we're just going to have to take this out. I think I see corrosion on the DCN board too. It's probably just more surface corrosion, but it's there. Even though these are old, they're fun to work on. And it's a low stress job to work on these ones usually, because all the data's in the drive, and if things go wrong, there's plenty of these boards available to get replacements. And I've got a few myself that are just like on standby for the day that I make a big mistake. I wonder if that'll be today. Hopefully not. That's the thing, if you're running a business, you really want to make sure you do have insurance plans. I don't mean with insurance companies or anything like that per se, but just making sure you've got some sort of backup plan if you do something dreadfully wrong and you're actually to blame for it. And not try and offload it onto the customer. I know some people do that. It's not the sort of way I like to run my business. I like to think if I make a mistake, then I'm the one that has to cover for it. Ooh, let's forget about that sneaky one there. I think we're about ready to come out. Because the fun thing with these boards, they tend to get stuck under here. Yep. And of course the microphone. Always forgetting the microphone. Good reason not to pull too hard on these boards. Or any board. Just in case you've forgotten something. In the crazy rush. Alright, now I hate doing this microphone. It always feels extremely unprofessional just pulling it out like that. Yeah, we've got some corrosion there. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought, but we do have some, and that's probably just... that's going to be okay. I gotta admit, it still doesn't really explain to me why it's running flat out like that. I feel like... oh, yeah. There we go, we've got some corrosion down here under this. So let's get the speaker thing off. Now that more explains why we've got the bad behavior. Yes, yes, that's far more likely. Let's have a look, see what those are for. So we've got Q4260. Firewire. Not really what we can blame yet. U770. That's a little more, yeah, PP1V5SO. So if that's causing trouble, yeah, that could be an issue. I mean, it sort of doesn't really cover what we're seeing, but you never know. We'll clean it up. Let's traverse up here a little more, see what's going on. See if we've got something else. More bugs. Bugs are perfectly normal in computers around here. Really, if anyone... you basically have to live in a pristine environment, indoors, sealed everything, if you don't want bugs around here. Otherwise, it's very much a normal daily reality that you will have bugs in your computers. So I guess we'll clean up that area and see if things improve. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to turn on our brain and start doing real work. Hopefully we're not going to damage that fiber reinforced connector there. Cutting it a little close. I always forget about the goddamn transformer. That firewire is definitely a disaster. This one doesn't look quite so bad. I might leave that there, but that firewire definitely is out for the count. See what that pin's for. PB bus G3 hot? Well, no great surprise there. And what about this capacitor? What do you... 3VO? Check see if we don't have a short. Diode mode. Well, no short there. I'm kind of curious to see if hopefully okay, we don't have a short to G3 hot either, so that's good. Drop that completely off. Hopefully I have donors. Not much of a pad left there. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I'm a little worried about how that just floated off before. I mean, I know I've heated this up, but I'm gonna just clear off everything there. It floated off just a little too easy. Just clean up this test pad. It's probably not that important, but I prefer it if it's clean. And this veer. May as well clean the pads on the legs. Or rather, I should say, just clean the legs. Okay. I think that stands a chance of working once I put the resistors back on. Alright, we got a slight problem. I don't have a spare 2936 with those resistors. Okay, it's only a slight problem. So what we do is we just go and find out what replacements we can use. Alright, that one there, that's the bottom one. That's 100k, so we've easily got those. Okay, 402, 100k. It's definitely very good to have donors on hand, but I gotta admit, if you can get the new parts, like if you have little resistor books, or just simply the individual spools, then yeah, it's great. Ah! Right, the next one is this one here. Oh, look at that. It's another 100k. If I do that a few more times, I'll probably remember in future. Just put some flux down for that. Now we know we get fan spin, but the thing is, do we get uncontrolled fan spin? And how is it that it's working with the MagSafe 2 when that's a MagSafe 1? How the hell does that work? That's powered on. This is an original. Come on. Guess we'll get rid of this, just in case. This is just to make it easier to get out. Wow, I can't believe the inductor got melted. Actually, that's pretty weird. Okay, so I don't have a 2936 on hand, but the 3115 looks like it has basically the same configuration here, so we're just going to take from this one. Should be just enough solder on that leg, and naturally it's on the opposite side to being left-handed. That's okay. We'll just, yeah, maybe it's not okay. God damn it, Paul, turn the board around. The board don't care. What is going on? Much better. Wow. You'd think after 30 plus years of soldering I would actually do that a little more gracefully. No siree. Here to make a mess. What can I blame it on today? I would dearly love to put hot air down there, but it's just melting too many things. Alright, and now just the capacitor. I'm actually a little shocked I don't have 2936 spare donut board. I think the problem was that I had a few, but I fixed them all. It's like, well, you're not going to use a fixed board as your donor board. Well, that looks positively like a train wreck, which means it's pretty much perfect for me. I can't believe that. Come on. Seriously? Alright, one wide diagnosis time. Actually, let's check G3 hub, 3V42. Okay, what do we got? 0.2 volts. Yeah, it's a little short of 3V42. Okay. Do we have... Let's go to actual U6990, which naturally is on the other side of the board. Oh, now we've got a green light. Oh, for God's sake, seriously? That actually gives me more cause for concern. Change my DCM board. Alright, we've got fan spin, we've got that. Must have been a dud DCM cable. Mark for death. Okay, so it's a start. Fan's going a little bit bonkers still, so that's not... We're not truly there yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a USB stick in here, like so. Connect up our power. What the heck? Wow, you really are something weird going on here. Something else I'm missing. I swear I smell burning. You're fading, aren't you? You're fading. Fading? Yes, you're fading. Alright. It's weird, we do seem to have a stable 3V42 now. Ah, what a pain in the butt. And hilariously, we just had CPU activity then. There we go. Something's happening. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Do I have just another bad DCM board? Wouldn't surprise me. Maybe this just needs to go for a bit of a swim in the ultrasonic. It's only a bit of grime to get under there. This stuff here. There's a little bit of corrosion there. And actually I've seen that before, that cap. Yes. You're looking a little less than happy. Look at that, you're all yucky on that side. I wonder if you can come off the Jester style. No, you're not coming off Jester style, but you don't look that great. I forget what you're for. Here you are. BP5, HS Computing. You're just one of the normal decouplers. So we'll get rid of you anyway. Like I said, I have seen you seem to always get messed up. Not sure why. It's a 1 nanofarad 50 volt. So like I said, not really super critical in the big picture, but if it's misbehaving it could be a problem. I should really check to see what that veer is for, because that had a little bit of corrosion on it, so it's going to this cap here. Current sense for SMC. Well, that could actually be important, so we will just flood that with a bit of solder, or maybe I'll run a wire through it. Yeah, let's run a wire through it. For this we should be able to maybe just cram one of these into it. I think that'll fit in. Yep. Have a look on the other side of the board. There we go, there's our little friend. Seems like it goes to this resistor here, so we'll just push it over. Or does it? No, I don't think it does. Well, maybe it does. So confusing. Test it. Continuity test. Alright, it does go to there. Alright, fortunately that wire we've just come through there, it does go to that resistor, so we're good. Let's try to do a not so shoddy job. Many a time when I haven't been able to find the part I want because I don't have a donor on hand, the 2915 usually comes along and saves me. Okay, I'm going to be melting the bottom of this capacitor. Forgive me. I hate those capacitors, really I do. They're difficult to solder down manually. Actually, why am I breaking it off there? Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. They're difficult to solder manually, and they're an absolute pain in the posterior if you're trying to get them off the board as well. Because all their pads are buried underneath the can, the plastic shroud. So even though these pads here are exposed, the pads go all the way into around about here. There's only a small gap about the width between these two letters that exists in the middle in a lot of them. So you have to try and get the heat all the way underneath to get them off. So in the end, the easiest thing you usually do is just twist them off and desolder, which is really not a good thing to do because you may lift a pad doing that. Just having another visual check here. All this was covered by the heat sinks, of course. That'll teach me to not take the heat sink off. I should learn to do that regardless. I mean, look at what happened with the PCH on that 3437 board. Alright, the ultrasonic's hot. Before we do that, we'll get the paste off, the thermal paste. Because that stuff just seems to make a mess in the ultrasonic. And then the next board you put in, it has a bad habit of depositing it back on the board. So it pays to scratch it off. Jeez, not like that, Paul. Whew. That was almost a disaster. I came in at the wrong angle and I just started to do some damage. Fortunately, it didn't really do any damage, but it felt like I could have. At least on the upside of it, I completely botched this, I've got a spare. As in, I've got spare working boards. Take the sticker off, and I'll put that back on when we're done. Alright, so we got that A1278 fixed up. Got a couple of little things to tweak on it. Got to change the trackpad on it, but it's up and running. This has got a 250 solid state in it, so they'll be good for someone to use in the future. I personally won't be using myself. I've got my MacBook Airs and MacBook Retinas, but no, it was a bit of work there to clean up the liquid damage, a couple of wires to put through after it came out of the ultrasonic. It's all good. So, another win. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.